Got the rear and front rack installed, light bar, and now I'm getting ready to fix that leaky rear diff. Order some seals, so now I'm gonna have to jack it up, take the tires off, pretty much completely remove the rear end to get to the seals. So it's gonna be a little bit long, time consuming, but something that has to be done, and it's gonna be done right. So I'll go ahead and do that so I can start putting all the rest of the plastics on. I got the snorkel in. I also ordered a few extra parts, like the other plastics were missing, so I had to order those new. It was probably cheaper to get them new than try to find them used. Plus, takes a long time to get them in if you look for them used, because you have to find a person and schedule a time that works good for both of you. So just went ahead and ordered it, and it just got here within a week, so it's pretty fast. So I'm gonna go ahead and jack this up and get started in the rear. Got the rear axle out. It's really not that hard. All you have to do is pretty much just unbolt the bolts that it has, and it'll come right off. First you have to undo the brake system. Take the little nuts off of the brake lines and undo these 4 bolts. And you have to undo that first and take it off first to get the axle out, because I think this here kind of hits on the inside of that, and it won't, if you try to slide the axle right off, it won't come off. So once you get that off, the axle should come right off. It goes from the left to the right. So now I'm gonna go ahead and undo these 4. I already got these off. I think you're gonna have to take the rear shock off, but what I did is I put the strap here to kind of help support it. I'm gonna try not to, but we'll see what happens. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that so I can get these seals installed and button it up and take it for a test run. Okay, everything so far is good. It's going according to plan, which is very rare. This thing just kind of moves out. There's a seal here, oil seal, so if it comes off, just make sure where it came from. But all this strap is doing is just supporting this rear, and it's just kind of gonna help whenever I put everything back together. It's gonna line up, because I'm guessing this thing moves up and down, so with the strap there, it's set at a certain height. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove this, figure out how to get the rear drive shaft off. I'm assuming it just pops right off, but doesn't always go according to plan all the time. I'm gonna go ahead and do that right now. Okay, this is going really simple. Again, they went according to plan. Once you get it out, this thing just pops straight out. Here's the differential. You can tell it's been leaking oil for a while, and this looks pretty bad too. So I'm gonna go ahead and change that. I got the seals with me, but whenever you do these seals, it helps to have a little short screwdriver. Just kind of put it there. It's a rubber seal, and it has a metal. I guess the metal is kind of covered with the rubber, and that's what makes the seal. So what I do is I put it there, tap it with the hammer, and then just kind of pry it, and it should pop right off. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that so I can get this thing changed and put it back where it belongs. I got the screwdriver, flathead. I drove it in there with the hammer. So once you have it in there, all you do is just kind of pry it out. You have to do that a few times. Take it around, but as you see, it's already coming out. So I'm gonna do that all the way around till it comes out, and then install the new one. Got the old sealed out. Getting ready to put the new one in. As you can see, it's all lubed up. I used some gear oil, and then I put some around here. But first you clean it with some brake or a carb cleaner. The oil just kind of helps to guide it in there a little bit easier, so you don't mess the rubber that's on it up. So now I'm just going to gently tap it with a rubber hammer until it seats flush with the differential case. So let's go ahead and get that done. Got the old seal out, so you can tell it's pretty dirty, full of mud. Clean it off with some sandpaper, really fine sandpaper, and now I'm starting to put the new seal in there. Just make sure you put some oil in there to help guide it in there, and then you just kind of tap it with since I can't get the hammer in there, I'm gonna do a punch. So just make sure you do it really slow so you don't poke holes on anything, and then you have to get a new seal. So just go ahead and punch it in. Got the seals all back in there. Now let's get ready to put it back in its place. Just pretty much reverse the process that you took it off. It should go back fairly easy, so I'm gonna go ahead and grab it and start putting bolts and nuts back and getting it rolling again. So far so good. It's going in fairly easy. Just put it in the holes where it came from. It lines it up, then put this in there. Make sure you oil all the seals like the one that's back here. And then just pop the shaft in there before you put it in here in the brackets. And now all I have to do is put the nuts back on there and tighten them up, and move to the brake system. So let's get started. Got it put all back together. It went pretty easy, easier than I thought it was gonna be. I'm getting ready to put some gear oil. What Honda's recommend doing is, I know with other brands you just put oil until it comes out of the fill hole. But on these Hondas, you have a little screw that you take out here, and whenever it starts oozing out of that, that means it's the right amount of oil. So you take that off. It has a little washer. That's a 10mm bolt. Just take it off, put a pan underneath, and fill it up until it starts coming out of there, and then you know you're good to go. There you go. See how it's oozing out? That means you're good to go. You just put the washer and nut back on, or bolt, whatever it is. Tighten it up, and you're good to go. Take a good look at the Rancher. Next time you guys see it, it will be complete. I'll have a new set of wheels on it. All the plastics that were missing on it. I got a box full of goodies. It's all brand new. I ordered the gas tank cover, the 2 engine covers that go here, the front plastic that covers the bumper. So go ahead and do that, and I'll reveal the finale. And I hope you guys like it. So wasn't a hard build. It was a lot easier than the Big Bear, I think. So I'm kind of excited about this one. Go ahead and get started so you guys can take a look at the final product.